everyone. It's Allison, or blogger Absolutely Allie. Welcome to the SOCIALpreneur podcast. This is episode 6, the last episode of this season. We will be back soon with new episodes for season 2. I hope you stayed with me from episode 1 to 6. And I hope you love it and you'll come back for next season. We have a special guest, Yamilca Rodriguez, who I'll have her introduce herself in a second. But the SOCIALpreneur podcast, as I've been saying for a while, is a podcast to help get entrepreneurs, women and men out there that use social media to build their brand and their business. So if you know somebody that is like that, definitely send them my way because I would like to interview them and give them a platform in order for them to talk about what they do and maybe even help you with your business. So you can email me at Allie, Alli, at Absolutely Allie, or you can send me a message on Facebook or Instagram at Absolutely Social or Absolutely Allie. So let's hop in and get started. Yamilca, welcome.
Thank you. Thank you.
Tell us a little bit about yourself, your businesses, and kind of how you got started.
Sure. So just want to let everybody know that I was a corporate gal. Yes, I worked in corporate for 13 years and I did I will say some incredible things. It was a great job. That's where I got my PhD in branding and what I call my PhD in branding. I also did my master's. I have an MBA when I was working, so that was great. And I was a design manager. And so I started in innovation. So worked a lot on what's the future of skincare? What's the future? So a lot of future driven projects, like what are we going to design? What are we going to establish for it? At the time it was 2020 and we're in 2021 now. So
Right.
a long time ago, let's just say that. And then I moved into brand identity, from innovation to brand identity, which was more current business. So it was a faster pace, much more marketing involved. So I left my job because I fell in love. I fell in love with somebody, and well, now we're married. So I fell in love and I came to Louisville, Kentucky, and I was kind of looking for a job, one of those, another corporate jobs. And I did find one. I did it for a year. I was working for an agency. Hated it. Hated it. I mean, it wasn't, it, I was coming from a place where you kind of got to define what you wanted to do, your career. I got to do my expertise, travel, and then I was confined to doing things all by myself. I didn't have a team. It was, anyway, we won't talk about that. But then I said, I want to go to work for myself. I want to work for myself. I want to be an entrepreneur. I have to say that since I was a little girl, I always did things and sold them and, did stuff to kind of like an entrepreneur. So that was exciting to me. So I thought, I would go into one of my workshops that I was very famous for is design thinking. So I thought I was going to go into design thinking. But actually, as I was like, I love fashion. I've never done anything in fashion. I always wanted to be a fashion designer, but just didn't do it. So I decided to go into fashion. And that's where you and I met, right, Allison? So I did that for a while. And that was great. I exceeded my expectations and the expectations of everybody else, I will say. Everybody was like, you're not going to make it. And Louisville people would be like, you're not going to make it here in fashion. And it was great until it wasn't. And one of the reasons, I had to cancel my show last year. I was starting to think maybe to letting go of the business at that point. And the reasons why is just, it was very stressful for me. It was a lot of work. I was doing it on my own. And so I was still, I'm a big brand person. And I thought, how better than to help people brand themselves and help, I got paid a lot of money when I worked in corporate. I know a lot. I know and I know what corporations do. I know how much money they spend. I worked on billion-dollar brands, not
Mhm.
million-dollar brands, billion-dollar brands. Designers were not allowed to work on anything less than billion-dollar brands. We had a very unique skill set, and so we were looked at as an asset and a big value to the company. So anyway, I wanted to help people take what I learned in corporate and be able to use it to grow or to start or whatever to redefine their business. And so that's kind of the background, so you kind of understand where I'm coming from.
Okay. Well, now tell us what your business is now and what you're doing now with all that stuff that you learned from your corporate background.
Yes. So now I am back to branding, which I love. I call
Hmm.
myself a
And
creative
she's good at
brand.
it.
I call myself a creative brand strategist. And
Hmm.
so what I do for people now is my partner and I'm the co-founder of the archetype method. Archetype method. I just want to reiterate that because people are like, architect? No, 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 no. Archetype. And if you don't know what an archetype is, it's basically based on psychology and human
Hmm.
behavior. And it uses the 12 archetypes from Carl Jung, and they're just symbols that we start to relate with over time. So they're really based on if you like they're really based on things that you have no control over. Basically, you just
Right.
do it. It's part of our nature. It's part of our human nature, the way that we act and interact with others. So my partner and I decided to develop this theory to take it a little further, right? Not just the 12 archetypes, but where they land, if you have an axis, what are the quadrants that they form. I help people define their brand personality. So we look at what is your brand personality? Because everybody needs a brand personality. And if you don't know what your brand personality, well, we'll talk about that in a second. But brand personality really helps you connect and be authentic with your
Hmm.
audience, right?
Hmm.
A lot of times we're one person one day and then another person another day, and your audience doesn't know who you're going to be in that moment, right? So it's really about being able to bring your authentic selves because you're going to attract a certain type of person. And that attraction, what I call the opposites attract, is your ideal client. So today, I really help my clients understand what their brand archetype is so they can be authentic and understand what
Hmm.
branding is. And I explain the model. And then I help them understand their ideal client. For me, because where I worked, everything was about the client.
Right.
Everything
Hmm.
revolved around the client. Every single little thing. Why? Because they're the ones paying you. And to have a business, you need to have clients. If you don't have
Right.
clients, I don't think you really have a business, right?
Right.
So we need to focus, and a lot of us forget this, right? We just want to be ourselves, talk about ourselves. It's about serving your
Hmm.
client. And so once I help them define who that client is, you write the messaging, you visualize it for them, you talk about how you're going to help them. And this is like brand new to my business, and I'm so excited. Um, and the second phase to that is customer experience.
Okay.
And customer experience is really defining that, and it has to do with the structure and the methodology, but defining how your client moves from being, let's say, um, a 2K client to a 10K client to a 20K client.
Right.
and really defining what each step of the experience is so you can delight them. Because one of the things that's really important, and we talked about this in one of my sessions, Allison, is you want, when you're starting your business or you're trying to create a whole clients, you want to start with a low-hanging fruit. And the low-hanging fruit
Right.
are those clients that come to you organically. And so, and once you understand them and go deep and understand what that is,
Mm-hmm.
you want them to refer you. You want them to give you referrals and give you love and all that, because that's going to help you on your business. And for that, you really need to have a unforgettable, what I say, the unforgettable experience. So then the customer will keep coming back and coming back and coming back.
And now, how do you use the archetype method with social media? So, what do you do to get what you're teaching them and what you're bringing to them to social media?
Great question. I love this question. Okay, so what we do, we've done like thousands of audits on this, and let's talk about Instagram first.
Right.
So the Instagram is super fascinating. After doing audits, the Instagram is all about your ideal client, and if you don't know that, I mean, you know that, Allison. It's
Right.
all about how do you serve that persona, that person in particular, right? And how do you help them with their struggles, their pain points? So I help my client understand the tone of voice that they need to have, making sure that all the visuals, because I am a visual person and I like pretty things.
Mm-hmm.
And so making sure that the visuals are consistent, that they have, a variety, maybe testimonials, problem solution, you know, telling a personal story, like all those things are kind of part of how you should attract on Instagram. And teach them something, right? Teach them your methodology, but be consistent, not just on posting, but be consistent on the way that you do things to understand your client, and really go deeper than just, oh, they're this, 20 to 30-year-old, girl who, lives somewhere in the suburb, be super specific, like where in California, what suburb, how old is she? 28? Like be as, what's her name? Julia? It's like being super specific and adding visuals to
Specific, and then knowing your client and knowing the person, attracting your super fan or attracting your customer. How do you think that helps them with their social media? Does that help them grow? Does that help them get customers? How do you think that works?
and it works, helps them get more customers, and it
Hmm.
helps them grow.
Hmm.
Because so this is what happens when you truly serve
Hmm.
your ideal client, that specific person which is attracted to you. So this is the methodology, right? What's your brand? This is your opposite. That's your ideal client. Let's build on that. Let's put that together. And then that's the messaging. This is the visualization of it. This is what it looks like. So once you understand those, you can serve them and they'll be like, oh my God, you saved my life, can you teach me something else? Oh my, and then you start getting all these followers and followers and followers, and then and you stop monetizing, because as you know, Allison, it's not just about having followers,
Hmm.
right? It's like,
Hmm.
how are you monetizing that,
Right, because
right?
you can have lots of followers, but they're not buying or they're not engaging or liking anything. So it's like you said, it's not just about the followers. It's about converting those people that see you to being your customer or being your client. How do you
And the
think? Go
Yeah,
ahead.
so the key to that, and I think you were getting at this, is once you get a client, once you've like have it, ask them, questions like, what are you struggling with? What are
Mm-hmm.
the things, what were the things that attracted you to me? What were, and then add that, use that to serve more people,
Mm-hmm.
because we all have something to give. We all have something that we're not doing this for the money. We're
Right.
doing this to serve our audience, right? To
Right.
help
I
them with
tell
something that we're good at.
I tell my customers, poll your following. Ask them what they want to see. Ask them what they need, and ask them what they want. Instagram has a poll, so why are you not using it? So use it for your benefit.
Right. And once you get one and you can have like a face-to-face conversation, use that to understand a little bit more and dig a little bit more. And then
Mhm.
that'll help you create content to then serve more people who are having the same problem.
Right. So Yamilca, where can people find you? And then what do you have anything coming up that people can hop on? Like, do you have I know you have a master class, and what things did you have going on that people can come see more about the archetype?
Yes. So my website is www.brandarchetype.co.
Mm-hmm.
And soon, I'm also going to have
Mm-hmm.
www.brandexperiencecode.com. And
Mm-hmm.
everything's going to be moving to
Okay.
brandexperiencecode.com eventually. So I'm sure that when this is out, it'll be brandexperience.com, because everything is about how does your customer experience you, and the experience is, it's that's the future of where we're actually going. And they can also contact get information. They can do the quiz, so I have a quiz
Mm-hmm.
on there, and you'll find out your archetype and your opposite. You can also contact me at info@yamilca.com if you want to write me directly. That's also great. I do have a mastermind for women entrepreneurs that I host, and we really try to, it's like a board that solves your problems. And
Mm-hmm.
so I don't market that, but if you hear this and you're interested, send me a message or DM me. My Instagram is Miss Yamilca, and I'm also on Facebook at archetypemethod.com. And I do have a lot of three different services and also some courses. And I am starting to roll out my brand experience code, which I'm super excited about. So if you want to get in on that, just message me or go to my website. There's information there on how to contact me. And yeah, that's what's going on. Oh, before I forget, I mean, Allison, you know this, but I have one book that's
Yeah, I was gonna add.
launched,
That was my next question.
and it's right here. So, Women Who Boss Up, we're on this, right? We're not the
Right.
same book, but we're in it
Right.
together.
Yeah, I haven't announced that, but yes, I'm going to be
Okay.
in no, it's fine that you did Women of Color Who Boss Up. So that's coming in summer 2021. But Yamelka's is out now.
Right. And so what's coming up is the March Women Who Boss Up Summit.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to be on all of those with Tam Luck. And Tam and I mean, if you're a woman entrepreneur, you have to go to the summit. It's
Right.
incredible. And are you in the March one
Not
or the May
no, I
one?
probably the May one because we're just having our phone calls this week. So it's probably the May one, unless she's going to tell us this weekend. So if I am, I'll put the information down
Yeah.
below.
So I know there's a March one and a May one, which I'll be in both. Tam and I have this offer that is, I'm unprecedented. Like you have only 24 hours to get this offer because it's like Tam's amazing. Get your message, understand your message, and you get the ideal client for like a ridiculous price. And so Tam and I just did it. It was just this week, and now we're doing it again in March and then in May. So if you have the opportunity, go to the Women Who Boss Up Summit.
Right. I will put all of Yamilca's information down below when this comes out. And obviously you all are seeing it after it's come out. So I'll put all her information down there and the information of Women Who Boss Up so that you all can find them as well if you're interested in going to the summit. And then you said your social channel. What's your Instagram again? It's Miss Yamilca.
Yeah.
Yes. So I'll put that down below so that you all can go follow her, send her a message if you all need her help, which you do need her help because I've seen stuff that she's done. Yamilca and I have the same client who she introduced me to, and she did this for them to help with their social media, and it was a world of difference. So she knows what she's talking about. Definitely go find her. And welcome. Thanks, Yamilca, for being on this. And everyone, come follow or come for season 2. I'm excited about that. We'll have some great guests on there, but definitely if you have anybody that's interested, or if you're interested and you're a socialpreneur or want to be a socialpreneur, I'd love to get you on the podcast so that you can tell us what your gifts are, and maybe that can help someone else. So we will see you next time in season 2. Bye.